I got an orange helmet on, 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 I got an orange helmet on. All right, I'm here in Gdansk, northern Poland. This is kind of where my hostel is, just sort of old school communist bloc era apartment buildings, but close enough to the old town. And I've been here for 2 nights now, and I figured I'd do a quick free-est walking tour of Gdansk, because I didn't do any filming while I was in Warsaw, despite how much I actually enjoyed that city. Gdansk is actually very nice. I also finally have got another pair of cheap sunglasses, since if you watched my video in Cardiff, you'll remember me telling you about how I dropped them onto the train track. So bought these yesterday for 20 zloty, or $5. Probably a little bit of a ripoff, but don't care. Need sunglasses to hide my hangovers. Anyway, this is the free-est walking tour of Gdansk, Poland. I saw this yesterday and I was like, huh, that's interesting. This truck ran into the bridge, and then I noticed that it's actually built in, and as far as I can tell, it's some sort of art gallery. So kind of interesting, kind of shady, but kind of surprising also. This is an island to our left over here. It's the entrance to the old town. So we'll go up here, we'll walk through there, because I'm walking to the World War II Museum, which is, I think, the biggest World War II museum in the world. Only a 55% battery, so I should be able to film a little bit, get something. A lot of people have been down here fishing. I don't know if you can see him. So I thought this was kind of interesting. You know, ancient tower right there, down on the left. If you can see those illuminated signs, it looks like you could buy your lottery tickets down there. So, coolest lottery in the world. If I won that, I'd buy this building. You can see these ruins over here on the right. Apparently this was all ruins not too long ago. And I was told that all these ruins are leftovers from World War II. And this is where World War II started. So this whole town is pretty much leveled and then got rebuilt shortly after the war. Apparently this in front of us was a palace built for the king of Poland for when he'd be in town. So built for him, but apparently he never stayed there. So biggest waste. I'd stay there. $10 a night, like a hostel room, I'd do it. Anyway, we walk underneath the palace. You get here, this is kind of the main heart of the old town. I think it's called Długi Targ. Yeah, which I guess is the literal translation to English, translates to long street. And then the street next to it is called, I think it's called Piwa Street. Piwa is Polish for beer, so that's the beer street. But this is the main street of Gdansk, Poland. Also the only person I've seen out here walking in shorts, I think. So everybody's wearing coats. I don't know why. It's like 65 degrees out. It's also the middle of October, so kind of lucked out since I've been in Gdansk in terms of weather. It's real sun's out, guns out, fall weather. Hard Rock Cafe. That's where I got my sunglasses yesterday. I guess this could actually be called the somewhat hungover walking tour of Gdansk, because I started day drinking at 11 a.m. yesterday. I found a shot bar where you get pre-mixed shots for $1, pints of beer for like $1.50. So started drinking at 11. I think I stopped at 7 p.m. though. Anyway, statue of Neptune, because of course in one of the most Catholic countries in the world there'd be a statue of a Greek god right next to the biggest brick church in the world, was what I was told. I still don't believe it, but in terms of red brick, I guess it is the biggest one. St. Mary's Basilica is what it's called. And this is the archway into Long Street. On the other side here, there's a museum for, we just got a big whiff of like old garbage. It's kind of rare here. It's not a very stinky country, but of course anyway, anywhere you go, you can get a whiff of big garbage. So anyway, this is the archway into Long Street. On the other side here, there's a church and the Museum of Amber. Amber is really big in the Baltic countries. You'll see it all over Latvia and Estonia and such. German tour group. I wonder if they're pretty popular here. Ever since 1938. That's the Museum of Amber. And I'm going to cut north because I'm going to the World War II Museum. The most ripped dwarf from Lord of the Rings. Walls to the old town. I'm going to cut back down and go through this other side of the old town, down to the river, and then I'll cut north. Well, should probably get out of the road. Deers and cocktails. For whenever you want deer with your cocktails, or if you're trying to get your deer drunk on cocktails. You know, you can't tame a wild stag. Sometimes deers need gin and tonics too, right? You know? Cafe Perro Negro. Black Dog Cafe in Spanish. Not the most politically correct name. Not in today's day. Adele's Salon, I guess. Haven't heard about her lately. Maybe she's cutting hair in Gdansk. Okay, so this is the other side of the St. Mary's Basilica, I think. The St. Mary's Church or whatever. Way bigger than it is on the other side, so I guess I can see that. Those are also the biggest windows I may have seen ever in my life. I'm gonna cut up this way and then over to the river, because I'm all about this fountain right here on this cute little street. Lots of amber stores on this block. This is an insane statue up here. If there's two things that the Poles kill, it's the park game and the statue game. Of course, no idea what it's to. I'd assume World War II of some sort. It's crazy though, how it's uprooting the ground. And this is it, the World War II Museum. It's absolutely massive. I was told by the guy who owns the hostel, it usually takes people about 3 hours to go through it. Unfortunately, I've got a plane to catch. I have to be at the airport at 4:40. I think it's like 11:20. So I'm gonna go in and check it out. Maybe breeze through it. Learn some things about World War II. All right, just left the museum. They didn't allow me to bring a selfie stick for the camera. They let me bring the camera in, but they were like, oh, only still photography allowed. So, well, didn't film anything in there. But kind of a bummer, of course. Polish people sure got screwed in World War II. So, yeah, I'll just keep filming the way back. I'm gonna follow the river down. And that'll conclude it. I don't have too much battery left, so we'll see what we can get. That Ferris wheel apparently is mobile, and it's moved 3 times since they built it. Whereas like the London Eye or the Ferris wheel in Seattle or whatever, those ones are stationary. So, also a drawbridge, because I see quite a few big sailboats down in the marina. And this is the only way out, is to come up this way. One thing that's common here is beef tartare, which is essentially raw ground beef with like mustard seed. They put an egg in it. And I was at a dinner in Warsaw about a week ago, and I was told that that is how they will chase vodka. It's by taking the shot of vodka and following it with a fork full of beef tartare. And I did that, and it was the most repulsive thing I have ever had in my life. So, just because people say that that's how they do it in one culture does not mean it's good. Another thing I did yesterday was I went into sort of the not touristy part of Gdansk to a barbershop that's owned by behemoth frontman Nurgle, called Barbarian, which is where I got this beautiful haircut. Basically, I told the woman to really accentuate my male pattern baldness. So I think she did a pretty good job. And cue Pirates of the Caribbean music. Or the sequel, Pirates of the Baltic Sea. Starring Jaroslav Depp, Johnny Depp's estranged Baltic Polish cousin. Alright, so I just got lunch. I got a 10-inch, 12-inch, whatever, wood-fired pizza. Ate the whole thing. Very full. Also got a pint of beer. And it ended up being 39 zloty, so $9.75, which is dirt cheap considering I bought it right here on the main tourist stretch. Anyway, the battery is about to die on the GoPro. This is the final stop in Poland for me. I catch a flight to Kutaisi, Georgia tonight. I am blown away by Poland. The towns are super, super nice. I just wish that there was more mountains, more nature. What would I rate Gdansk? I would probably rate it 2 out of 2 wooden ships. I think that this is my favorite town in Poland. It's definitely the nicest. It's easy to manage. It's cheap. And I didn't even get to go to the other Tri-Cities. I didn't go to Sopot. I didn't go to Gdynia because I didn't have time. So maybe in the summer I'll come back here and do those. I've heard really good things about Sopot, but Gdansk as a whole is incredible. My favorite town in Poland.
Is so. Super,